Welcome one, welcome all to the second installment of the Forged and the Barrens card review. These cards are going to come fast and furious, with the majority of the cards coming in this next week. This is the shortest card reveal period, I believe, out of all the Hearthstone cards ever. So be sure to subscribe so that you can... One more time. So be sure to subscribe so that you can get all of your card news from yours truly, straight from the Forge. Oh, so close. The Madman! So let's get started with a very exciting card. One that we have seen in the past, reincarnated in a different form. It's KAZAKUS, Golem Shaper. 4 mana 3/3, battlecry. If your deck has no 4-cost cards, build a custom golem. 3 choices. The first one is, are you getting a 1 mana 1/1, a 5 mana 5/5, or 10 mana 10/10, matching the old KAZAKUS' 1, 5, or 10. And then you choose 2 abilities, one at a time, both of which are herbs. The details on this are a little bit slim at the moment. However, the card that was shown off was KAZAKUS can create a 5 mana 5/5 with Taunt as choice number 1 for herb, and draw 2 cards as choice number 2 for herb. So from there, I can conclude that the herbs scale in power, similar to old KAZAKUS, as you go from 1, 5, or 10 mana, which means that you can create a very efficient 1-drop, or just a strong mid-range option at 5, or a mega value 10-cost option. A lot of flexibility. KAZAKUS is clearly going to fit into this value control style of play, and it's an interesting twist that you don't have to be a Highlander deck for it. All you have to do is not have 4-cost cards, which, you know, is going to be better for some classes than others. We're gonna have to see how everything shakes up, but I'm quite certain there will be at least one class out there which doesn't have 4-cost cards that are that strong, and then can just put in KAZAKUS as a very flexible option where it's intended to be the late game super mega value, but you can always, just like normal KAZAKUS, even against tempo decks, even against mid-range decks, choose the appropriate option, curve into the 5-drop, sometimes get the 1-drop to play a really efficient tempo card. Next up, and there's actually a bit of a theme in this initial reveal review video, in Reckless Apprentice, a 4 mana 3/5 mage minion with battlecry, fire your hero power at all enemies, alongside Mordresh, Fire Eye, 10/10/10, legendary for mage. Battlecry, if you've dealt 10 damage with your hero power this game, deal 10 damage to all enemies. That's your big finisher for the value control mage. You're using your hero power here and there. Note that Fallen Hero and Kaldara Drake are in the core set. But yeah, Reckless Apprentice, just on the baseline, it's a 4 mana 3/5 battlecry, deal 1 damage to all enemies. That's not too exciting. Probably wouldn't see it included in most mage decks if it only did that. But its goal is to, like, provide 3 value towards Mordresh, which means on average you'll probably need to use your hero power additional 7 times. Count a little bit less for the fallen heroes and stuff. I'm not really that optimistic on this particular combination of cards. Currently, there might be more things that make this more viable, but there's actually a really big reason against Reckless Apprentice, and that reason is KAZAKUS. So if KAZAKUS is going to be the mega value for, you know, late game, for value, for control, then Reckless Apprentice really fights for the 4 slot alongside KAZAKUS. Will Hero Power Mage be dead out of the gates because KAZAKUS is too good? This is very speculative, lots of cards to come, but initial thoughts. Cannon Master Smith, Paladin legendary. 5 mana 4/4, battlecry, transform your secrets into 3/3 soldiers. They transform back when they die. Very fascinating ability, and I think it's really obvious to say you should put this into your Secret Paladin deck. Now, the big question though is this card good enough to make the Secret Paladin archetype work by itself? And my answer to that is no. It's a good card if you've already got Secret Paladin, but I don't think it's a good enough card to force the Secret Paladin archetype. Because you can compare it to Petting Zoo. Petting Zoo is just 3 mana, and baseline is a 3/3. This one baseline 4/4, and then summons 3/3s per secret you have. This one just transforms your secrets into 3/3s, which, by the way, is less good than just summoning the 3/3s because it temporarily turns your secrets off. Now, there's some secret value attached to transforming your secrets into soldiers because as your soldiers die, you get more secrets. So each time you get a new secret, it's going to be a random one. They're going to have to check again against every single secret that you pulled. A little bit of interest, but overall I'd say this effect is definitely worse than just simply summoning 3/3 soldiers per secret. So I think it's as simple of evaluating this card as, well, we're gonna have to see if there's more secret Paladin style cards. From the reveal, it does look like there's going to be at least one new secret in this expansion. So maybe that expansion secret will be powerful. However, in addition to that, I think there needs to be some sort of like big secret synergy where you're very efficiently putting out secrets from your deck, or you're drawing a bunch of secrets on the cheap on a discount, something like that. Demon Hunter has an interesting set of value cards. Kurtrus Ashfallen, 4 mana 3/4, Battlecry, attack the left and rightmost enemy minions, outcast, immune this turn. If it's outcast, this will serve a very similar role to Illidari Fellblade. Kurtrus looks like it's going to be pretty similar, where it immediately deals 6 damage and then you get a 3/4. Kurtrus is a little bit flexible in that dealing 3 damage to 2 minions is probably better to deal than dealing 5 damage to 1 minion. On top of that, if your opponent only has 1 minion on the board, that is both the left and the rightmost minion, so Kurtrus will just deal 6 damage to it. So I think it's a better Illidari Fellblade, and it's a completely new, year of Hearthstone. So Demon Hunter, I think, could actually legitimately be a mid-range deck. Maybe a value deck. Maybe a control deck. And Kurtrus does fit those archetypes. The bigger overarching question is, are value decks going to be viable in this particular season? Because they weren't really that viable in the last season, but that's because aggression was very, very fierce. In this particular season, it seems like they're cutting a lot of the burst. And then the second question is, so super aggro decks may not be able to take on value decks. The other main predator of value decks is going to be OTK decks. Are OTK decks going to be around? And there's currently a pretty strong OTK Demon Hunter deck floating. So we're going to see if that card, if that deck gets nerfed. It is worth mentioning, similar to Reckless Apprentice, Kurtrus has the unfortunate downside of costing 4. So KAZAKUS is watching. Very interesting Demon Hunter card here. It's 3 mana 3/3 Razorfen Beastmaster with Death Rattle. Summon a Death Rattle minion that costs 4 or less from your hand. Interesting because this is the first time that Demon Hunter is exploring the Death Rattle theme. Makes sense for Demon Hunter because they are adjacent to Hunter in terms of Scholomance dual class cards, and they are a class that has a lot to do with having minions die. Now, it is very difficult to rate Razorfen Beastmaster because there are not very many Death Rattle minions that cost 4 or less for Demon Hunter. In fact, there's really only one right now, and that is the Renowned Performers. And Renowned Performers isn't that good when someone from Beastmaster, because if your opponent kills it, you lose the rush part of it. So it does look like this is a big hint that there will be at least one good Death Rattle Demon Hunter card printed that will probably cost 4. So we're gonna see how good that 4-cost Death Rattle Demon Hunter card is, and probably be able to better assess Beastmaster then. For now, interesting card and only useful if they're actually, good Death Rattle cards that probably want to cost 4, because the bigger the Death Rattle, the more mana you're cheating out from the Beastmaster. And the finale card here is actually pretty exciting. Primordial Protector could be a major card of many different classes. 8 mana 6/6 Elemental with Battlecry, draw your highest cost spell, summon a random minion with the same cost. It's a big deal and it's neutral. So all the different classes are going to find a different way to incorporate the Primordial Protector, and probably there's a lot of different possibilities. You don't have to only play big spells, you can actually play small spells to survive and to control the deck until your big value payoff of Primordial Protector. So yet again, it seems like this is a value control deck, a little bit of a blur into a combo, because you're clearly combining this card with a very unfair mechanic of the turn you play this. You get a 10 cost minion alongside a 6/6 and draw a card. Enormous value card. Interesting cards to combine this with would be Hunter's Grand Slam. Been sleeping in the Hunter set of, potential cards for a while. Survival of the Fittest is still in for Druid, and Druid is one of the classes that ramps the best, so they could ramp to Primordial Protector and Survival of the Fittest. Just imagine, on turn 6, maybe even turn 5, or perhaps even turn 4 with enough ramp, you get out the Primordial Protector, draw your Survival of the Fittest, and have a 10 cost minion alongside your 6/6. That's actually pretty scary to think about. It's an elemental as well, which means this could be the precursor to Grand Finale. For the decks which are looking to draw like the big endgame value card, the spell that's supposed to finish the game, this is also a tutor. And it's also an elemental, perhaps a hint towards Grand Finale. You probably don't want to play Grand Finale the turn after Protector, but you could set up a very consistent turn 10 Grand Finale. Play this, play a bunch of elementals turn 9, play Grand Finale turn 10. Time's gonna tell on whether or not that's too slow. I think you're gonna see a lot of interesting uses for this card in a lot of different decks, and this will be like the baseline for what makes a value control deck also have something unfair and tempo-y under its belt. Though, of course, the metagame has to be at a point where you can play this on turn 8 and not die. So a really cool set of cards emphasizing value in this particular reveal session. So again, make sure to subscribe so you can keep up with this particular fast-paced reveal season.